So, I attended my first esports event. It was pretty cool. I met a lot of awesome people. So let's first talk about something that is not so awesome. Over the past few months, Riot kinda became good at reigniting the passion for some of the older League of Legends players. Partially it's because all the arcane teasers are getting better and better, and partially it's because they showed us that they are once again dedicated to game modes. But of course, technically all of this comes at a cost. A cost that usually spans hundreds of dollars these days. So once again, there is a new kind of monetization that is hitting the shelves. And it is one that actually goes back to the roots. The very first League of Legends skin that got people scared. That's right, it's time to bring up the $200 Jhin skin. In case you forgot the details of that memorable event, Riot released a skin that was only available from specific loot boxes. Here you either had a 1% chance to get the skin from each box, or you were guaranteed to get the skin on your 30th opening. The thing is, buying 30 of these loot boxes, which are called capsules, costs you just about $200. So if you really wanted this skin, you were essentially rolling on a sale to get it cheaper. In other words, you were hoping that you would get the skin before your 30th capsule. Although, nobody ever won in this gambling system. Not only because the chances of you not getting the skin in the previous 29 capsules was 75%, but also because people just bought the capsules in bigger packs. Which means, even if the skin dropped, they already bought more. Anyway, there was quite a big drama around this skin when it was originally revealed. Not just because it was expensive, but also because it was expensive and it was a recolor of an already existing skin. And in League's community, the Dark Cosmic Erasure Jhin skin kinda became the Armored Horse DLC. That became the point when any kind of monetization was on the table. And so, not too long after that, Riot tried to improve things. Which is how we got the breakout True Damage Echo skin, which, just like the Jhin skin, was just a gacha skin for $200. And from a post, we learned that's because, on a financial side, it worked. This was confirmed when we got an update on it. People actually bought it. So all the improvements around this gacha system were aimed at the visuals. People didn't like how the Jhin skin was nearly identical to its original skin. So for the Echo skin, they lightly changed the color, but they also gave it some extra visual effects, which, in the middle of the game, you can hardly notice. And also the music around this skin was slightly different. That's really all that happened. And as far as we know, once again, the skin sold decently well. But it probably wasn't as big of a success as the Jhin skin, which is why Riot experimented a bit. They heard the feedback that some of these skins could be part of the Mythic currency system, which is also a premium currency that is expensive if you wanna buy it through different bundles or you just earn it through battle passes and stuff. And so we did get the occasional skin for Mythic Essence or even from a battle pass. Though all of those were the prestige skins, which by pure technicality are the exact same thing, except they are a bit more gold. It is a visual upgrade over the original skin. And if you wanted to buy one of these skins directly, again by going through different bundles and stuff like that, the individual price of these skins would be usually between $100 and $150. Although, at least, most of these skins were earnable through hard labor. And then of course it was time for Esports to shine, which is where we got the Faker skin incident. A skin that was directly sold to us, at least it's not a gacha system, for $500. What a glorious time that was. Again, at least it was not part of a gacha system. But that might have been the issue. You see, by crunching the numbers, we eventually learned that the Faker skin earned over $2.6 million in a day in a single region. And all of that was a month-long promotion. So it was obvious that it worked. And Riot even confirmed they will do more of these skins every year to support esports. The side effect, however, is that the community kinda lost its faith in selling skins in good faith. And more than that, more and more of these expensive skins started looking more and more like a scam. But again, at least they weren't doing the gacha pools anymore. So last week, Riot thought, what if we do it again? Twice. At the same time. And so here we are. Behold, divine God King Darius and fallen God King Garen. Do they look familiar to you? Well, that's because they are recolors of already existing skins too. But here they did an oopsie. You see, normally recolors are called Chroma skins in League. And Chroma skins are known to be on the cheaper side. Which means Riot does not want to call these Chroma skins. Even though everyone does that anyway. Instead, they want people to call these expensive Chroma skins mythic variants. But again, nobody does that. And so when Riot tweeted about these skins, they too accidentally called them Chroma skins. After which they deleted it to save the situation. Now, the idea behind these two skins is that in their Chroma versions, they swap thematic. God King Garen used to be the good guy, at least visually, and God King Darius used to be the bad guy. But here you can see it is the other way around. With that said, these are also quite good upgrades to the skins, which is apparent only if you put them side by side. In Darius's case, the armor is chunkier, made by the angelic details on the shoulder pads, his axe has a new shape, and he got an angelic halo behind his head. With the biggest upgrade being that the Ghost Wolf is now a Ghost Dragon Wolf. In Garen's case, however, the upgrades are quite a bit smaller. In general, the skin looks pretty much identical, except of course, now it's dark. The sword does have a new shape, and there is an incredibly faint circle above his head. And yes, the lion is now also a dragon. And that is kinda it. And that's a problem, because Riot is starting to be inconsistent with the quality of their skins. Because you see, normally legendary skins can also get mythic Chroma versions. For example, let's have a look at Battle Academia Ezreal, with the original skin on the left and the mythic Chroma version on the right. And yes, here it is actually called a mythic Chroma. And you can see the upgrade to the skin is on a very similar level. Maybe besides some upgrades to the 3D model. But also, that is something that would be really hard to notice in the game. So now the question would be, how much is this Chroma version normally? Well, dear viewer, calculating in the price of the base skin, plus the Chroma skin for about 40 mythic essence, we are sitting at roughly $80 to $100. So how much are these new skins with their mythic variants of Chromas, which are also pretty much the exact same quality as any other kind of prestige skin? $200 each! Which, statistically, once again, there is about 75% chance you are not gonna get it from the capsules. And all of this is the case because once again Riot is using the exact same system they used for the original Jhin skin. Except now the UI is prettier. So here you have the track. If you open up a capsule, you progress through it, and by hitting certain milestones you get some extra goodies. One capsule is gonna give you an icon, 3 capsules are gonna give you an emote. For the next 12 capsules you get 3 extra loot orbs, which pretty much just gives you 1 random skin each. After the next 5 you get another orb and a bag, which should give you multiple skins at once. Another 5 will give you 2 bags. And at the end, the grand reward is the skin you were looking for 30 capsules. Now, of course, every time you pull, one of these capsules is gonna give you 3 skin shards, which is essentially the value of 1 permanent random skin. But also, there is a 3.5% chance to also give you an extra bag, a 0.06% chance to give you a mythic skin, which is essentially a legendary value. And the funny thing is that the chances of this happening are so abysmal that the gacha skin has a higher chance to drop at 1%. So overall, this means that you have to open 30 capsules to get this gacha skin, and every time you open the capsule, you are hoping to get it sooner so that it is cheaper, or in other words, you are rolling for a sale. Sounds good, right? At the end of the day, it is a good old gacha game system. Wrong! It is actually slightly worse than what the gacha games give you. Here, if you pull on a capsule, you make zero progress on all the other capsules. Unironically, it is very close to pulling on a gacha banner in the other gacha games. You essentially just pull on a banner until the pity system gives you the character you want. And if you want the other one, you just have to pull on the other one separately. Except if you are in the middle of your spending spree and somehow you get a bit of sense in your head and you stop pulling, the pity you got to that point will translate to the next banner. That's because all of the pulling in gacha games is part of one integrated pity system. What's hilarious is that even TFT is using a similar system to this. When you pull on skins, you get a currency which you can eventually use to just buy the skins directly. Which means it all translates between the different skins you're pulling on. But here, the pity system is this track. And this track is unique to this skin. So you can't pull 20 times on a capsule, then run out of money, and then the next time the next new skin comes out, roll 10 times to get it. That doesn't happen because for every capsule, this track is different. That's because the tiers still give you unique rewards. What's even worse is that most people will buy the capsules in mass to open them all at once. Which means, even if you get the skin on your second capsule, you still bought another 28 of them. And these 28 are separate from the other skin. You can't just decide to turn these 28 Darius capsules into Garen capsules. After you buy them, you're simply locked in and there is nothing you can do about it. And herein lies the problem. This gacha system will never be usable, and I can't believe I'm saying this, until Riot fully embraces the gacha system other games have. Because there, those systems have way better safety features to prevent you from going bankrupt. But in its current state, Riot doesn't have that. Again, at least it doesn't have that for League. TFT is actually way better. And so, after the gacha system returned, not much has changed, which somehow made things worse. But this is still not where it all ends. Besides the fact that this time around we don't even get one free capsule from all the missions, which normally we do. For some reason, Riot just randomly removed at least the one free attempt. But I was simply surprised that not that many people know that all of this is happening. And that's because there weren't any official announcements about this. The skins were simply testable on PBE and then they went directly live. And this is all for a funny reason. You see, normally these bigger skins are parts of events that are as hyped as possible. And every time there is a capsule connected to one of these events, we get a post that explains what you can buy in this event and what are the chances of you just getting stuff. Now, when it comes to the original Jhin and Echo skins, neither of these were parts of separate events. And Riot simply made a post about them because they had a new kind of monetization. But this time around, once again, there are no new separate events, but also they are not part of a new monetization. So Riot simply had no need to make a post about this, which, funnily enough, kinda managed to hide the outrage from the public eye. Now, I honestly don't believe that Riot is hiding this on purpose, especially not after publicly advertising a $500 skin, especially because it worked. But it's also funny to see that in this case specifically, it kinda worked out. And that is the current situation with the newest gacha skin in League of Legends. They are in a weird limbo where even normal gacha games have better pity system than this. And at the end of the day, just keep in mind that all of these are optional cosmetics. Nobody is forcing anyone to buy anything. These skins don't make or break the game, they are simply there. And in this case specifically, the who cares argument works. Because it's not like the game is directly worse because of it. Sure, you could argue that the effort that went into these mythic variants could have gone towards a normal skin, to which I would like to ask, what effort? And the funniest thing about all of this is that Eventually, people should be able to get this skin for free by pure chance anyway. I mean, the Jhin skin was promised to be put into the reroll system eventually, so that at least we would have a random chance of getting it by rerolling some of the skins that we don't want. We were told that this would happen sometime in 2024. We are 3 quarters into 2024 and I'm not sure if it's happening.